Okay, let's go over some ways of looping over an array in JavaScript, whether it be for, filter, map, or reduce. But let's start off with setting up our array. So let MyArray equals to 1, 2, 3. Something simple. So now, just to confirm, it contains a length of 3 with 3 elements in them, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's try to loop it over it. First way is going to be a for statement. So for let's element of my array console.log elements 1, 2, and 3. So it goes through each element. This only gives you the element, doesn't tell you the index of the values or anything like that. One thing also read is don't use the let element in MyArray. Even though it loops over it, it gives each element randomly, or the index randomly. So next statement is for let I equal 0, I less than my array dot length, I increment it element equals to my array at the index of I console.log elements 1, 2, and 3. This one, to write this statement, you have to know the length of the array and then set the value and then print it out, basically, to get elements. The next one is a forEach statement. My array dot forEach element index array console.log element So this one is getting better. It loops through each of the MyArray 1, 2, and 3. So you can actually use each one as elements. You can also find the index of which those elements are at, or you can mess with the array in this looping. So that's the good thing about forEach. It loops through everything, and you don't have to know the length. It just goes through everything. The next one is map, which is pretty much similar. So then, but it returns a value. So new array equals to my array dot map element index array you have to return, and I'm going to multiply each element in the array so that it can return eight times 1 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 8 times 3 is 24. So this is my this is the new array. 8, 16, and 24 returns an array. The next one we're going to talk about is filter. MyArray.filter, passing in element, like always, index array Now we're gonna return whichever element is greater than 2. And that's 3. So new array is 3. My array is still 1, 2, and 3. So it filters it out. So it sort of returns into an array, but whatever is greater than 2. If we set this 2 equal to 0, it's going to return the same thing as my array into the new array. Okay, the last one is reduce. New array equals to my array dot reduce accumulator element index array. We're going to return accumulator plus element. And then we're also going to set the initial value to 0. So my array is still 1, 2, and 3. New array is 6. It's just one single string. So basically, when we use reduce, it's like doing the sum of all the values, where the accumulator keeps track of it. Basically, when we set the initial value to 0 here, this puts the 0 into the accumulator, and then the first, as it loops through each element, so the first element is going to be 1, and the index is 0 here, and the array is this whole MyArray still accessible. So then it returns the accumulator of 0, which is here, and then the element is just 1. So 0 plus 1 equals to 1, and then this accumulator keeps track of it, keeps on passing it through, and then it just keeps on adding each element basically, and then it gets to 6. But if you don't put the 0 here, it moves this MyArray 1 into the accumulator, and this 2 into element, and it starts off the index at 1, which is the 2. So it skips it. So it skips the first the 0th index. So let's see. New array equals to my array dot reduce accumulator, and we remove the 0, and it still equals to 6, because we're pretty much doing the same thing, because either way 0 in the accumulator doesn't really change anything. And that's it.